welcome back to Living Our American Dream. My name's Matt. You can see here on my trailer, we got us a new toy for the farm here. So this is a flail mower. I've never had one of these things before, but I've heard that they can both finish mow and mow tall grass like you see behind me here. The primary reason that I bought it is I wanted to see how well it does in the tall grass. I mow this probably 2 to 3 times a year. With a brush hog, it leaves big clumps in the field when I mow it, and I'm hoping that this does a nicer, cleaner job. Let's get this thing unloaded and start checking it out. Most of my implements around here I have made to be quick hitch compatible. That means that one of those quick hitches on the back of a tractor, a category 1 quick hitch, will just pick this thing up and go. Unfortunately, this thing's probably 40 years old and the dimensions aren't quite right, so that's not going to work. I tell you this because that means I would have to take the quick hitch off of my tractor to try this thing out before I modify it. As you can see over here to your left, I've got another implement on my tractor right now. This is a fertilizer spreader that I borrowed from my brother. It is also not quick hitch compatible, so I've already removed my quick hitch from my tractor. I'm thinking I should probably go ahead and spread my fertilizer right now while this thing is on here. Then I can switch over to our new flail mower and we can start checking this thing out. Alright, so I've got the fertilizer spreader unhooked and I've got the flail mower on here, and I just want to say a little side note. I've spoiled myself rotten with a quick hitch, and if you have one of these little tractors, I highly suggest getting a quick hitch, and I highly suggest getting all of your implements converted over as soon as possible. The pin type attachment that's on here, when you got to back up and move the arms around and up and down and fiddling around, I forgot how much that sucks. Now let me turn the camera around and show you what I can see for grease points on this thing. We'll get it greased up and we'll see if we can take a test run. All right, so the concept of one of these things is underneath here there's a drum that's going to rotate, and this drum that rotates has these little flails on there, these cutting flails, and when these go around at a very high rate of speed, they smack the grass and chop it off. The next thing we're gonna do is go around and find all the grease points, and there'll be, where is it at? There'll be a grease point right up in here. It looks like another grease point here and another grease point here. All right, so first impressions is it doesn't quite leave the same choppy trail that the brush hog does. However, it bogs my tractor down quite a bit more than I thought it would. So I'm gonna mow this field and the other side field with this thing, probably this weekend, and see how it works. All right, it's a new day today. I stopped mowing. I didn't quite finish the field yesterday, but I decided that I wanted to do a comparison. So I went ahead and took the flail mower off. We're gonna put on the brush hog today that I've used for the last 10 years. And we're gonna be able to compare the area that I did over here with the flail mower and the rest of this up in here we'll do with the brush hog, and I'll show you guys the difference. Let's go take a real quick walk before we get back to work and see how this thing's doing. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat is in this tall grass, which you can see I'm mowing pretty tall grass. I'm not finished mowing with this, and I don't ever intend to finish mow with this. So I bought it specifically for tall grass. Now when we look down here, I can't find on this thing exactly what it is, but I think it's a Ford 907 model. And this type of blades that it has are these wide, almost like a finish mower blade. And I think what's happening is with that blade width, as it tries to mulch through the tall grass, it gets clogged up, and I've got to go real slow, and I continuously find myself slowing down. Whereas with the brush hog, you know, I was kind of able to just keep a steady speed and mow through it. I was hoping that the flail mower would be able to maintain the same speed, but apparently that's not the case with this type of flail. Now I can see already that as far as the job that it does, it's not bad. Having a wide roller on the back of it kind of flattens everything down while you're mowing. So we're coming out here the next day, so we kind of see some of this grass coming, I shouldn't say coming back up, but standing back up after it's been mowed through. But I'm pleased with the job that it does. Not so far pleased with the speed in which it does it. So there's possibility I'll have a video coming where I'll change the flails out to a Y-shaped cutter, like a knife cutter, instead of that one with the scoop. So this is more of a, I think it would be more of a kind of a mulching blade. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so right now we're gonna go get the tractor and we're gonna go back and get the brush hog. I'll finish this little piece of field right here so you guys can see the difference. There's just a little triangle shaped piece right here we're gonna finish up. Alright, so as this thing winds down, first couple of cuts here is a perfect example of what I was talking about. If we look over in the flail cut area, the mulched up weeds are kind of distributed side to side. Here, these two cuts that I made here, this row I was going in that direction, and this row I was coming back. So you can see in this cut on the left side there's a windrow, and on my way back the left side there's a windrow. They happen to be together. So I don't know, it's not a big deal. I just thought that the flail might do a little nicer job. It looks like the area where the brush hog has cut is a more even cut than the flail. Okay, I'm standing right in the middle between where the flail was used and the brush hog was used. Final conclusions: the flail mower definitely distributes the mulchings better. The current knives that are on there make me go a little bit too slow. The brush hog, as you can clearly see right here, leaves rows of piled up mulched up weeds and stuff. This is what I was trying to get away from, just to give it a nice cleaner look when I was done. I think we might try some different flails on this mower. Not a bad job though. Alright, so in conclusion, as a summary, we did about 2/3 of this field with the new flail mower that I just picked up. We did the other third of the field with the brush hog that I've been using. Now this is a Ford 907 flail mower. These were built, I think, in the mid 1960s into the early 1970s. The brush hog is a Ford 940 rotary mower, and I believe those were built in the late 70s into the mid 1980s. So both of these are 40 to 50 years old. I picked both of them up used at a reasonable price compared to new. They both do the job, and I guess my hopes with the flail mower is that it would leave a nicer, cleaner finish. And as you've seen in that last video clip, I think it did for the most part. But I also think that the type of flails that are on this mower with that flat bottom, like a hammer flail or a finish cut flail, I'm not a flail mower expert yet, but I believe those are made for like finish mowing applications. Now I did mow some of the lawn with this just to see how it would do. It did pretty good. I don't think it did as good as my finish mower, but yeah, I think it did pretty good that way. What I think I need for the tall grass on the flail mower is I need the Y-shaped knife cutters. And I watched a couple of videos on YouTube. I think I can change these out pretty easily. There's a rod that slides out, and then you just put the new cutters on and slide the rod back in and reattach it. So that should be relatively easy. I think I'm going to try that out for the next time that I need to mow. For right now, the job's done though, right? That's going to do it for this video. Quick comparison between the brush hog and the flail mower. There's certainly going to be more to come on this, so stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.